I need to say something to you that nobody in your life may have had the courage to say. Nobody is coming to save you. Not the mentor you have been hoping will discover you. Not the investor who is going to believe in your idea enough to fund it. Not the employer who is finally going to see your worth and reward it. Not the partner who is going to love you into becoming the person you know you could be. Not the lucky break, the right connection, the perfect opportunity appearing at exactly the moment you need it most. Nobody is riding over the hill. No rescue is inbound. The waiting room you have been sitting in, comfortable, familiar, increasingly permanent, does not lead anywhere. It is just a room, and the door out of it opens from the inside. Welcome to Motivation Daily. This is the message that changes everything. Not because it is easy to hear, but because it is true. And the truth, even when it is uncomfortable, is the only thing that has ever actually set anyone free. Let me tell you about Howard Schultz. He grew up in a housing project in Brooklyn, New York, the kind of poverty where a broken ankle meant his father lost his job as a truck driver with no health insurance, no workers' compensation, no safety net of any kind. He watched his family fall apart under the weight of a system that offered them nothing. And he decided from inside that project, from inside that specific and grinding poverty, that he was not going to wait for the system to fix itself or for someone to reach down and pull him out. He was going to build his own way. He worked his way through college on a loan. He talked his way into a job at a small Seattle coffee company called Starbucks that had just 4 locations. He pitched an idea to expand it. They said no. He left, raised money from strangers who believed in the vision even when the founders did not, built his own coffee shop, proved the concept worked, came back and bought Starbucks and turned it into one of the most recognized brands on earth, with over 30,000 locations in 80 countries. Nobody saved Howard Schultz. Nobody reached into that Brooklyn housing project and handed him a future. He built one. Piece by piece, rejection by rejection, with no guarantee that any of it was going to work, driven by the absolute refusal to wait for someone else to decide his life was worth investing in. Or think about someone whose name you may not know, a woman named Cynthia, who spent 12 years in an abusive relationship. 12 years of being told she was worthless, incapable, that she would never survive without the person who was destroying her. She waited. For strength she did not feel, for certainty she could not find, for someone to notice what was happening and intervene. And one night, with 2 children asleep down the hall and a bruise on her face that was going to be hard to explain in the morning, she stopped waiting. Not because help arrived, not because the circumstances changed, because she finally understood with devastating clarity that if she did not save herself, nobody was going to. She left, with almost nothing. She rebuilt from zero, a shelter, then a shared apartment, then her own place, then a job that became a career, then a stable home where her children grew up watching their mother do what everyone said she could not. She did not do it because it was easy. She did it because the alternative was to keep waiting in a room that was going to kill her slowly, hoping for a rescue that was never going to come.
That is what taking ownership actually looks like in the real world. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just the brutal, unglamorous, life-altering decision to stop waiting and start moving. Here's what the waiting costs you that most people never calculate. Every day you spend waiting for external rescue is a day you are not building internal capability. Every week you defer to circumstances, to luck, to the hope that someone or something will show up and make it easier, is a week you are not developing the skills, the confidence, the resilience that only come from doing the hard thing yourself. The rescue, even if it came, would leave you exactly as dependent as you were before it arrived. It would solve the immediate problem and leave the deeper one completely untouched. But when you save yourself, when you reach down into whatever reserve you have left and pull yourself forward by your own hands, something permanent happens. You prove something to yourself that cannot be taken from you. You build a track record of self-rescue that makes the next crisis smaller. You develop a relationship with your own capability that grows stronger every time you rely on it.
and you stop being someone who hopes for a good outcome and become someone who creates one. Think about the area of your life where you are most stuck right now. The career that is not moving, the relationship that is not growing, the financial situation that has not improved, the health goal that has been on the list for years without real progress. Now ask yourself honestly, what are you waiting for? What external thing, what other person, what shift in circumstances have you been depending on to make the move that only you can make? Because I guarantee you, the move is yours to make. It has always been yours to make. The waiting has not been about readiness, it has been about fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of trying your absolute hardest and discovering that it was not enough. And those fears are real and valid and completely understandable, and they do not change the fact that the only person who is ever going to transform your life is the person reading this right now. You are the rescue. You have always been the rescue. Stop looking over your shoulder for someone who is not coming and start looking straight ahead at the life you are capable of building with your own two hands. Nobody is coming to save you. You do not need saving. You need to move. So move. Share this with someone who needs to stop waiting and start building. Subscribe to Motivation Daily. We show up every single day because this journey belongs to you and no one else. Drop a comment and tell me what is the one move you have been waiting for someone else to make that you are going to make yourself today. Name it, own it, then go do it. Let's go.